But what I love to see is that green grass and all of those flowers out on the deck there. Hey, Amanda Weldon along with you. We are diving into our weekend. Did you get woken up this morning by thunder and lightning in Ontario? I certainly did, but I actually kind of liked it. A moody way to start the weekend. We are seeing severe risk possible in the south, non-severe, widespread for the north. Two kind of different systems going on. For the north, it's a draping boundary. For the south, it all had to do with that warm front in the morning. Widespread, we are seeing the rain continue for eastern parts of Ontario, the cloud cover as well, but the risk is not gone when that warm front leaves. We'll have another risk towards the south, and that's why you just saw that risk map. Now, what's interesting and what is really kind of cool with thunderstorms is it's kind of like baking a cake. You need certain ingredients. Right behind that warm front, we actually have quite a bit of cloud cover, so that's inhibiting storms. You may notice throughout the day today, we actually get blue skies and then storms build on in back again for the south. And what you're looking at there is convective available potential energy. So still some energy in play. Widespread gusty winds as well will follow. So hold on to your hat. And what we will be watching closely is the level of those lakes. Still Lake Ontario around that 75.85 meter mark, and 75 meters, that's the average. If you've been watching in the past week, you know this number. Across Quebec, we have been looking as well at that rain starting to make its entrance into the province. It's going to clear out by Sunday, and then more of a maritime story. It's nice and clear in the Maritimes today. Actually, I will say Newfoundland, you actually kind of got into the average mark finally. 10 degrees normally for St. John's, and we were around that this afternoon. We will continue to see that, but by your 7-day forecast, you're going to see it slide back down again. Now, widespread for the Maritimes, those showers are really built in, and with those cool conditions on the way for Newfoundland, we will slide a little bit away from that normal mark. Now, what wasn't normal in California was the amount of snow we saw, and this has forced ski resorts to stay open. One of those days that makes their job a wee bit difficult. Now let's take a look at the West Coast. Hello, Amanda Weldon along with you. Hope you're having a great day so far. You could get a passing shower through the interior of British Columbia towards the south particularly, and then for the coast, not as much a risk for you. 14 for Vancouver today and nice and clear. But as for the rainfall, what you've got going on in areas like Kelowna, that 15 to 25 millimeter mark, and towards southern parts of Alberta, we actually have that chance to see more. There is a bit more focus of moisture there, 20 to 40 millimeters. Now, we wish that the focus of moisture was up towards the north because it's areas like High Level, Manning, as well as Slave Lake that have grown since I was here on the weekend. And High Level actually nearly that 1,000 hectares consumed. And I will say about this fire is over 5,000 people have been displaced. Now, the way that the winds are blowing is actually pushing that smoke up towards the north. Manning as well hasn't moved too much, but Slave Lake has been a little bit harder to forecast. As you can kind of tell, there's just a few areas jetting out from this fire that have started to spread. So the focus remains there, as well as the gusty conditions. This has made it really hard for firefighters up in this region with those gusty conditions, and it's around that 30 to 40 kilometer per hour, even wind mark at times. So that's blowing the smoke around, and the sky condition in some areas like Grand Prairie, smoke is actually your sky condition, not exactly the cloud cover or sun or anything like that. Widespread for the south, we are seeing again that rainfall, really that boundary that moves all the way into southern parts of Manitoba. But the rainfall was not just held in the west coast. No, it was not. We got rain as well in Ontario. We're going to continue to talk about that. Our weekend weather watch continues, and we have a lot to talk about in terms of developing stories. By looking at this map, you may guess where we're going to start first. All about that storm energy that has moved through Ontario, continues to do so throughout the day. You may have woken up to some rumbles of thunder. Hopefully the dog didn't mind it too much. Mine don't. They don't bark at it, but our last dog definitely did. Southern Ontario, you are getting into that, and we'll continue to see it as well. It was the warm front that first caused it in the morning. Rain fell and gusty winds, heavy downpours of rain, even the potential for hail is also in your story for the afternoon, evening. Now, we'll take that energy, we'll throw it to the west as well, because a localized risk in through the interior of British Columbia, for Alberta to the north, to the south as well. That's where we will continue to see our risk. Non-severe in nature with this one, though. And we do have some moisture in the mix, too, so an ingredient in play for heavy downpours of rain. But towards the north where we need it, where those fires are burning in High Level, Manning, and Slave Lake, we're not going to see really much of this moisture at all. Now, as for the west coast, the rain will start to fall once again. This is where you can find me if you're getting out this weekend or doing anything fun. And we'll take a look at our temperatures where you are. But I want to start talking about 2019 Atlantic hurricane season with Nathan Coleman. He'll take it away. As temperatures start to warm, so does our chance for thunderstorms starts to ramp on up. 19 degrees for you for this evening. And hey, that's good news if you're headed out to Jurassic Park for the Raptors game. But I will note, look at this, timestamp, 7 p.m., still that chance of thunderstorms. It will start to peter off around the 8 p.m. hour. So if you are heading out to the game outside tonight, just keep in mind you may need a plan if a thunderstorm does pass on by. This is extremely localized, so there's a chance you won't even see it. 15 degrees for Sunday morning, and as we move through Sunday afternoon, 20 degrees is on tap, but there are thunderstorms in the mix and more rain, and that means raising concern for the island. Watch this. All right, well, we'll continue to follow that story, especially the flooding just around Lake Ontario for many residents. Now, with that being said, more thunderstorm outlook on the way, widespread non-severe in nature. Towards the north, we actually have a front moving on through, so it's a bit of a different story than for the south, but severe risk if possible for the south is where we will be looking at. It's the warm front that cut on through earlier in the morning that brought those rumbles of thunder will clear out behind, and so you may actually notice in the extreme southwest, you'll actually have a blue sky at one point in the day, and then thunderstorms will build back in, and then by Sunday we've got high pressure once again. Now let's talk about the energy. So in the dynamics of thunderstorms, sometimes the cloud cover actually acts as a blanket, an inhibiting factor for what is the spark above a thunderstorm. So it's the clearing skies behind that that will actually allow some of the re-entrance of the energy and as well that possibility for storms to pop up. We'll continue watching this future radar, but as for your forecast, wherever you are diving right into your locals right now, and we'll have more on this storm right around the corner. A quick look at the temperatures across the country. St. John's 5 degrees this evening. Montreal, you've got the rain. Quebec as well. Clearing out of Ontario, but thunderstorm risk will still remain just a touch. And we're seeing that thunderstorm risk for southern parts of the prairies as well. Are you looking forward to summer? Well, we are talking all about it starting on May 27th. It's a full day event and we hope you join us.